Church ringing with all of our bell choirs, and we are very, very thrilled that he invited us here and we can play for you all. We are not going to play Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing because we're going to do it in the service. So we are switching now to Now All the Vault of Heaven Resounds, arranged by Kathy Macapas.
It features 3, where do I put this? We don't have fancy things. Then you're going to hear, oh dear. I don't know how to do this. Okay, you're going to hear Mission Impossible from James Bond. You're going to hear Mission Impossible, sorry Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, James Bond, and Peter Gunn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's a super fun piece. The next one we do is also one of our fun ones. We closed our spring concert with it. We do masked choirs with all of our choirs together. We start the kids ringing in 3rd grade with the rainbow ringers, and then we do charts and little color coordinated things. And then they go through 4, 5, and 6. And then our youth choirs are 7 through 12, roughly. And we've brought 19 kids on this tour, so I'm really proud of all of them. Our last tune is Crocodile Rock. Everybody remember Elton John's Crocodile Rock? Yeah. You're with me? I expect all kinds of dancing in the aisles and all that. It's arranged by Nick Hansen, who is sitting right here. We are fortunate enough to have GB Hansen, we are fortunate enough to, her title is Assistant to the Director of Music, but I really think she's more of our general manager. I've been thinking about this, and I think general manager, because she's in charge of everything. I just show up and do this. No. But so she's playing, and Nick's playing, and we hope you enjoy Crocodile Rock.
job, Handbells.
Thank you so much. We're going to swap out to the carol ringers. Handbell started at St. Matthew's. This is a really important year for us, 50 years ago. 50 years ago. Nancy Capel, who I worked for 25 years with, Nancy Capel started this program. And so we've been doing this 50th year celebration thing. I met Nancy when she was one of the choral directors at Holmes Middle School, where I was the band director. And one Christmas, she says to me, I need somebody to direct a handbell choir. And I went, a what, huh? Handbell choir, okay, all right. She goes, you're a good director, it'll be fine. I'm like, okay. I had one rehearsal with them. I had not seen the music. It didn't go very well because I wasn't familiar with the instrument and didn't understand that I was just like, you pick up your flute, you play, not which handbell is in which hand. So we were at the Kennedy Center in DC, and luckily it wasn't just like it was like a cocktail party. There was one end she had the carol ringers, and the other end she had me and the peace ringers, the adults. And it was Carol of the Bells. I can't stand the piece till this, I love the piece, but it just frightens me. I was flipping through the pages, and they were playing, and I was directing, and there were a lot of repeats. You guys know the one that has all the repeats? I got lost. I had no idea where we were in the music. I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay, we're just gonna keep going till we get to the end, and right? I got to the end of this page, and I stopped them. I was like, and then one of the ringers looks at me and goes, turn the page. I'm like, there was like the grandest grand pause ever. And I flip, all right, and this was 25 years ago, and they have not let me forget it. I am still reminded of this. That and the fact that I breathe, because we play band instruments, so I breathe before we start. So that's my big things. Okay, so we're going to start with resonances and alleluias. We're going to Nocturnal Fantasy is going to be next. We're going to do the Heiferdal as the offering at the 11 o'clock service, and I wanted to make sure we were okay on time. It's a beautiful piece. It's a really, really beautiful piece. It's by Emily Lee, and it's an original composition for handbells, and it's based off of a poem that was written in 762. And the translation says, "I wake and the moonbeams play around my head, glimmering like hoarfrost before my wandering eyes. Up towards the glorious moon I raise my head and then lay me down, and thoughts of home arise." The composer wrote it with a 16-note figure that represents a quiet stream with the reflection of the moon on the water. It goes then into an energetic fantasy type of a thing, and then it ends with a majestic and bold final statement. If you've played it before or heard it before, it's just really one of my favorites. So we hope you enjoy. Thank you so much. It's really a nice piece, isn't it? Nice. We have 6 seniors this year. Raise your hand, seniors. They are headed on to bigger and better things at colleges all over the country. Raise your hand, anybody over here, if you started handbells in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. Yeah, keep your hands up. Yeah, there we go over there. Yeah, we've got a really, Nancy started a really good program. And after I had that one debacle at the one concert, then I learned to play handbells. And then we started dividing up the groups. And it's been a lot of fun. We've been on so many adventures. She took a group to England. That was way back in the 70s. But we've been to Iowa festivals, Texas festivals, California festivals. We've driven all over the country, and we are so thrilled to be here with you all. And now, as they would say, for something completely different, the Addams Family. Literally completely different. We used this 2 times this year. The Peace Ringers played it we had a spooktacular this year. That was a lot of fun. And then the Carol Ringers played it during our movie night theme. So I expect lots of, and singing along and all of that. Before we play our final number, is there anybody have any questions about our program or handbells or anything in general? Okie doke. Stars and Stripes. Nancy started the Stars and Stripes as a concert closer, I don't know how many decades ago. It's been forever, as long as I can remember it. This is the first time we've played it since COVID, and Nancy retired. Nancy retired several years ago, and I took over the program. She's in her 80s. The funny part is, you'll like this, she's playing in both the Mitchell Ringers and the Peace Ringers. And she actually has quite a lot of opinions on the other side of the table. It's like, I didn't know it was this hard. I'm like, still, here we are. So, and she still goes on trips. Our adult choirs went this year to the Ocean City Area 3-1, and the other choir went to the Riverside Festival in New York, which is a beautiful place to play. Really great choirs. And the fun part was, our guest director for both choirs was Nick Hansen. So he could not escape us, no matter how hard he tried. We were there. We brought Stars and Stripes back this year. We hope that you enjoy it. As a band person, when I was young, I did not enjoy marches. I play bassoon, and it's kind of like a pop, 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 pop. And as a young band director, I didn't appreciate marches. It took years for me to really embrace the whole march thing, but I have completely embraced it, and for my bands and for my choirs, and the march form, and I could go on and on and on about first strain, second strain, the trio, the dogfight, the final strain, all of those wonderful technical musical terms that John Philip Sousa brought in here. He's a very patriotic man. We knew that, right? And then during the trio, he would bring out the trombones, piccolos, and everything else. And a lot of bands still do that. Our middle school band, we played the foot lifter for our spring concert, and we had the whole brass section stand. Audiences love it. It's great. We have special parts. The trombone, the final strain, the final repeat, has 3 sections going on. It's got the original march. That's supposed to represent the north. The south is supposed to be the piccolo, and the trombone section, which is what Claire and Emily are going to play on chimes, is representing the west. I have no idea why we didn't have an east, but that's what we've got. Okay? Are you guys ready? Did I talk long enough? I didn't talk long enough. I didn't know this when I first started handbells too. The reason we talk is so they can switch setups. But we brought lots of big bells for you to play. We're very, very fortunate to have Nancy really did a great job of building the program, and we've got a lot of stuff. So, Stars and Stripes.
Tammy and Ringers, thank you, thank you, thank you. Boy, that last song took me back to high school marching band, and I played the little trill and the piccolo. Did not know I was playing the West, so I've learned something new.
Something new. Yeah.
But thank you for coming down here, but also to being a part of our worship service at 11. You know, one of the things that we learned about how we bring youth into faith, into college, one thing we know is if they participate actively in worship, as these youth do, not just being in worshiping, but actually leading worship. And the second thing is that at least 5 adults in the church know them by name. And I can see already that these folks have at least 5 adults in the church who know them by name. And so today when we're talking about, you know, the harvest is plentiful and the laborers are few, we've got all of these laborers for the Lord because they have been brought up in the music program in the church, which is true here at Soapstone as well.
And then they go on to...
And they go on to play at other churches and lead other churches in music. So thank you, Hunter, for bringing your church family to your present church family. What a gift it's been. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Okay.